I guess I'm gonna keep saying this in my Guy Ritchie reviews. He made Aladdin, made a ton of money, and then he said, I'm gonna make all the movies I want to. In these past few years, he's released like 4 or 5 movies. And today, we have a war movie by Guy Ritchie. Sign me up.
Here's Johnny. My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Expecto Patronum!
Guy Ritchie's The Covenant stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Dar Salim and follows U.S. Army Sergeant John Kinley and Afghan interpreter Ahmed. From writer and director Guy Ritchie, who just gave us Operation Fortune, which basically no one saw, but Guy Ritchie is a very famous director, some famous movies, Snatch, Lock, Stock, the Sherlock Holmes movies, and obviously Aladdin, which a lot of people disagree on. I like Aladdin, but we have a war movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and it's Guy Ritchie. Like I said, I wanted to see this movie. All the ads looked like it was a good movie. It looked good from the trailers. And I saw the movie today at early screening, and I can really say you this. Guy Ritchie is trying something very different with this movie. This doesn't feel like a Guy Ritchie movie. There's certain camera ops, there's certain dialogue, hard-ass, nitty-witty moments. But in all honesty, this movie has a message that Guy Ritchie wants to say to the entire world that I feel overlaps the entire experience of the movie. The biggest praise is Dar Salim as Ahmed, which I'm very sorry if I'm saying his name wrong, but he's great in this movie. Seriously, his interpretation in this movie is very important to the story. He's interpreting for these languages with the army and these guys in Afghanistan, and he's also very important because he's the one that saves Jake Gyllenhaal, and then Jake Gyllenhaal's gonna go save him. He's a pivotal role, and he is great. His performance is really, really good in this movie. I really liked him. Jake Gyllenhaal, do I really need to say much? It is Jake Gyllenhaal because he's always great. You know, every movie he's in, the supporting cast, everyone in this movie served their part well. And then it gets more into Guy Ritchie's direction. I told you, it doesn't feel like a Guy Ritchie movie. There's certain moments where you're like, okay, there's your Guy Ritchie stuff. But going in this movie, I had the mindset of like Guy Ritchie doing a war movie. Okay, this could be really fun, really dark, because recently he's done a lot of darker storytelling, so this could be interesting. He's going for a message about Afghanistan, the war, how people see and treat Afghanistan war, the topic, politics, and I really feel like it just overshadows this movie. And to me, I just felt like I'm watching something that the ads and trailers weren't giving me. When it's focusing on that, when there's action and stuff, you're entertained. I think it's really well helmed. The production design, the set design, location scouting, like there's some really good stuff for a war film that you've seen before 100 times. Like 100 times. There are so many war movies out there that are better than this, because this movie is trying to say something very important, and I respect that. But the way it was treated in this movie, it made me feel like the movie itself didn't feel as important, which is a shame, because you had really good performances, a solid action scenes, a solid opening, a solid story in the very beginning. But that second half, once he's literally dragging Jake Gyllenhaal, the pacing just slows down. I mean, it slows down. And then it feels like a long movie. I forget the runtime, but I was sitting there like, how long is this movie? I think it's like 2 hours, but it felt like 2.5. And this third act, that's where it gets very like wishy-washy with storylines, because you want to focus on Jake Gyllenhaal getting him back, saving him. But there's an entire thing just glooming over this movie, and I just feel like Guy Ritchie was trying to do way more than he should in this movie. But hey, I respect him trying something different. I respect him trying to get a message out there. But you can see in other movies, there are movies out there that have messages intertwined with the plot, and it works out well enough. This movie, I don't think, did it well enough. In the end, I thought it was an okay movie. I thought it was good to see on the big screen. Great sound design, great action scenes, great performances. But in the end, probably one of my least favorite Guy Ritchie movies. I'm going to give Guy Ritchie's The Covenant a C+. Very disappointed in this movie because, again, the trailer looked pretty good. I saw a lot of ads for this movie, and so I was kind of like, all right, Guy Ritchie in a war zone. We got freaking Jake Gyllenhaal. But in the end, it was alright. It's trying to do way more than I thought it should, but hey, like I said, it is his film, it is his script. He wrote it the way he wanted to. I respect the artist. I just, in my opinion, didn't really connect with it that much. Anyway, guys, enjoyed this early movie review, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody!